Okay, our next number was coming from the bearing part. So the question is there. 4 towns R, T, K, and G are such that T is 84 kilometers directly to the north of R, and then they are giving you the bearings, and then they are giving also the distance from each point to another. And then they are saying, using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 10 kilometers, make an accurate drawing to show the position of the 4 towns. If you want to see the topic of bearing, please visit the playlist. You will see the whole topic about bearing. Then you'll be able to answer this with ease. So now, whenever you are coming to bearing, we have to first draw always the sketch. The sketch is what is going to help you now do what we call the accurate diagram. So as you see, this is my sketch. They are telling me that now, town T is 84 kilometers directly to the north of R. So if this is R, they're telling me that T is 84 kilometers north of R. I think you can understand this is my north. So north of R. And then they're telling me that K is at a distance of 60. K is at a distance of 60 on a bearing of 295. 295 is there. 60 kilometers would be fine in our town, which is called K. And then they continue to say that G is at a distance of 30 kilometers on a bearing of 340 degrees from K. So if this is K, we measure the bearing of 340. We always measure from the north line. We always measure from this north line, whenever you are measuring the bearing. So 340 to get now the G. So now we see that they are telling us that 1 centimeter represents 10 kilometers, meaning I have to first convert to get them in centimeters because we cannot put the kilometers on a paper. So that's why we are converting them to centimeters. Now I have my RT, the distance RT in simple terms. You get it in kilometers, divide by what its small 1 centimeter represents. And this will be now 8.4 centimeters. When I come to RK, distance RK is going to be RK 60. Then I come to KG, which will be divided by 10, which will give me 3 centimeters. I'm dividing by 10 because they told me that 1 centimeter from here, they told me 1 centimeter to represent 10 kilometers. So meaning you have to divide by the scale given. Now from there, we move to our accurate diagram. Now on our accurate drawing, we put there centimeters. These conversions that we have made. So now, this is now, if I'm set, this is going to be my R there. So this is now my R here. But on that R, now up north of R, I'm going to be having town T. By town T is now 84 kilometers, which when I convert it is 8.4 kilometers. I mean 4 centimeters. Now I come now, after tracing, now this is my R. I want now, remember from R, you can get the K. They are telling us that the bearing is 295. 295 meaning we have exceeded already the 270, meaning I'm going to measure off now 25 from when I put here. Now I'm going to measure 25 so that I can have the 290. So now I put my protractor here, then my 25 is around here. So it's around there. Then the distance is going to be now 6 centimeters, the RK. So that's why I'm going to put my 6 centimeters there. Get my error now. I measure the 6 centimeters. You can use a divider to measure the 6 centimeters. So if you measure properly there, mine is going to be around there. So that is mine. Then this bearing, the whole of this bearing, there is 295 degrees. And then here it's going to be 6 centimeters. Now I come to, now where I'm going to be, this is going to be now my town K. Then I draw my compass there. You can use a graph or you can use a pen paper. Now they're telling me that K to G, they are 30 kilometers, which when I convert using the scale, I have 3 centimeters. Now I measure 3, but the bearing is 340. So meaning, I put here my compass, my protractor. 340 is meaning to make a complete deviation in 360, meaning I'm just going to measure 20 from the north line. I'll be having now 340. So now I put it this way. I measure my 20 from the 360, I'll be getting 140 there. So it's going to be there, around there. Then I'm going to also measure. Now I'm going to draw, but here I have 3 centimeters. And I get my run measure of 3 centimeters, which exactly falls there. So now here is going to be now the bearing, measure the bearing. We said we measure the bearing from the north line. So from here up to here, I have 340 degrees. Then here I have my 3 centimeters, and this will lead me to my G. So that's where my G is. So that's the accurate diagram for now. So now drawing the accurate diagram is there. Then they want us to find the distance and the bearing of G from T. From is so important. So G from T, now I first join these two. I join from there, then there. This one I'm going to use dotted lines. And when I measure off how many I have there, I'm seeing that I'm having 7.3. So for me here, I'm getting 7.3 centimeters. That is now my distance. So now my distance is 7.3. So meaning GT or TG, remember I told us from T. I'm answering part B. My TG is going to be 7.3 centimeters, which when I convert now, but remember, you have to convert to the kilometers. So you multiply this one by 10 to get now 73 kilometers. Now I also want to measure the bearing. I get now my protractor to measure my bearing there. Now I want to measure off how many kilometers are there, because I know from here up to here is already 180, and I want to know how many are there. Put my protractor, sorry, and I'll see what I have there. For me, I think I have 65. So 65 plus 180. So now my bearing is going to be the 180. The 180 from here up to here. Then I measure off this one, which is 65 there. I've measured 65. So plus 65, which will give me 245 degrees. So that's now my bearing there. Of T, of G from T, bearing of G from T. Okay, then they want me to get the average speed. A vehicle takes 55 minutes to move directly from G to T. Calculate the average speed of the vehicle. You know that now, from there, allow me to use this part here. Our average speed is always equal to total distance over total time taken. Now, our total distance there, we have seen that our TG is having 73 kilometers. Now divide by the time. But remember, they gave us the time in minutes. So they gave us 55 minutes. So now I have to convert to hours by dividing now by 6. So 55 divided by 60. So now what I will get is going to be the average speed. And when I press my calculator there, I get 79.64 kilometers per hour. And now I'm giving my answer to 2 decimal places. That will be the answer. So that's what we had to do about number 12, about bearing, but please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Or if you want more about bearing, visit the playlist, then scroll down, you will see the bearing part.